Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling dissonant? You entered with the best of intentions, you spoke what you felt was true, and yet, somehow, the connection was lost. In the landscape of human communication, there are two unfortunate destinations where our words often lead us. The first is the battlefield, where every discussion becomes a debate, and every disagreement a conflict. You find yourself constantly on the defensive, feeling perpetually misunderstood. It is, in a word, draining. The second is the void. And perhaps this is worse. Your words are spoken, but they seem to vanish into thin air, carrying no weight. You feel unheard, unseen, invisible, conflict, or invisibility. Most of our failed conversations land in one of these two places. But what if a third path exists? A way to speak, not only to be heard, but to be truly understood. A way to disagree without being disagreeable. This is the art of wise communication. And today, I will not offer you simple tips. Instead, I will share two powerful communication protocols that have fundamentally reshaped my interactions with everyone in my life, from my partner to my boss. Let us begin. Picture a familiar scene. Your partner comes to you at the end of a long day. Their shoulders are heavy with the weight of it. They sigh and they begin to vent about a problem they're facing. As they speak, your mind, being the loving, intelligent partner that you, immediately shifts into problem-solving mode. It's a beautiful impulse, born from a desire to help. You analyze, you strategize. You can already see a clear path to a solution. Let's use a classic example. She comes to you and says, "Honey, my skin has been so itchy and irritated lately. I'm worried. I just don't know what's wrong." And you, with perfect, caring logic, reply, "Perhaps you should check the new face cream you're using. I've heard a lot of people have allergies these days." A perfectly reasonable suggestion, is it not? And yet, it is often the wrong move. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts. She replies, a defensive edge to her voice. "This cream cost a fortune. It can't be an allergy. You're just not listening to me." And just like that, you have stepped onto a minefield. A moment that began with a bid for connection has become the seed of an argument. Herein lies a profound human truth. When people vent, they are often not looking for a solution. They are looking for validation. They have a deep-seated need to feel heard, to be understood, and to know that their feelings are justified. By jumping straight to a solution, you inadvertently dismiss the emotion. You skip the most critical step. And so, here is the protocol. The next time someone you care about comes to you with a problem, before you say anything else, you ask the golden question, "Thank you for sharing this with me. Right now, do you need me to simply listen? Or are you looking for some help with a solution?" This simple, gentle question is a game changer. Why? First, it expresses profound respect. You are honoring their emotional state before imposing your own logic. Second, it clarifies intent. It invites them to pause and consider what they truly need in that moment. Often, they don't know until they are asked. And third, it gives you a clear role. If they say, "I just need you to listen," your role is beautifully simple. Listen with presence, nod, and offer empathy. If they say, "I think I need some advice," you now have explicit permission to enter problem-solving mode. Your advice will be welcomed, not resisted. This protocol isn't confined to our romantic relationships. It can be elegantly adapted for a trickier situation. Your boss. Imagine your boss seems stressed. They begin to vent to you about a project gone wrong, a difficult client, the team's performance. The amateur move is to either offer unsolicited advice, which can sound presumptuous, or to sit in complete silence, which can appear passive. The professional, using wise communication, listens patiently. They let their boss finish entirely, and then they adapt the golden question into its professional form. Thank you for sharing this with me. It sounds like a challenging situation. Is there anything I can do to help? This question is brilliant in its simplicity. It's respectful, it shows you're engaged, and it achieves the same goal. If your boss just needed to vent, they will likely say, "No, I just needed to get that off my chest. Thanks for listening." You have just become a trusted, reliable presence. If they are looking for help, you have just opened the door for them to delegate or to ask for your perspective. You have positioned yourself as a proactive, supportive member of the team. And remember, when a leader trusts you with a difficult problem, it is not a burden, it is an opportunity. It is a sign of immense trust. The people who are brave enough to ask, "How can I help?" are the ones who are seen, who are trusted, and who ultimately grow. So, that is our first protocol. Diagnose before you prescribe. Ask the golden question. It helps us understand the what and the why of a conversation. But what about the how? What happens when the goal isn't just to listen, but to engage with a conflicting point of view? This is where we often fail. This is where conversations turn into battles. And it brings us to our second protocol, a framework for productive disagreement. Let's analyze the psychology for a moment. What is the one thing that makes us lose our temper in a debate? It's being interrupted. When you are presenting an idea you care about, and someone cuts you off, your brain doesn't just register it as rude, it registers it as an attack. Our natural response is to become defensive. We speak louder, faster, to protect our point. The interrupter, seeing that you won't stop, does the same. And then, you have two people talking, but nobody listening. Logic vanishes. All that remains is emotion and the will to win. To disable this psychological trap, you need a rule of engagement that both sides agree to before you begin. The next time you're about to discuss a potentially controversial topic, calmly say this with a collaborative tone. Before we begin, I have a small suggestion to make sure we both feel heard and respected. How about we try this rule? When you speak, I promise to listen 100%, without interrupting until you are completely finished. And in return, when it's my turn, I'd ask for the same opportunity. What do you think? This is not a demand, it is a cooperative invitation. 9 times out of 10, the other person will agree, because the rule is fair and benefits them as well. And to increase that success rate to 100%, add the final step. Excellent. So, why don't you go first? I'm listening. By giving them the floor first, you demonstrate goodwill and remove any sense that you are trying to control the conversation. You empower them first, and they will be far more likely to respect the rule when it's your turn. And what happens if they agree, but still interrupt you? Don't get angry. Calmly pause, look at them, and say gently but firmly, "One moment, I haven't finished my thought yet. Could you give me a little more time? Thank you." It will be your turn right away. Because they agreed to the initial framework, this reminder is incredibly effective. You are not arguing. You are simply asking them to honor the agreement you both made. So now we have 2 powerful protocols. Let's see how they work together. Protocol 1, listen or solution, helps you identify the goal of a conversation. Protocol 2, the single speaker rule, helps you manage the process of that conversation. The ultimate purpose of wise communication is not to win every argument, The real victory is when both people can walk away with a deeper understanding of each other, even if they don't fully agree. It's when you turn a potential battlefield into a space of mutual respect and turn an invisible silence into a meaningful connection. That is not a simple tip. It is a life philosophy, and that is the inner compass that guides us. Thank you for listening.